you know the gist of what I'm saying is that white collar crime, families walk away with money, and white collar crime isn't. It's not that they look up to it. It's just that they don't seem to punish it more, and it should be treated as equally as bad as if they have a gun to someone's head. I think.
Of course, and there was a lot of criminal activity going on in insurance companies and what they were doing, and what the banks were doing. And all you hear about is the car companies, and it's simply because they're blue-collar workers. And what people don't understand is that by letting the car companies go into bankruptcy, what's going to happen, it's going to trickle down. It already has trickled down. It's trickled down to the dealerships. It's going to trickle down to all the parts placed, the manufacturers. It's going to trickle down further than anyone ever thought. And what people don't understand, too, about unions, unions are democracies. Everybody is treated equally.
Yeah.
And that's another thing people don't understand. And you have somebody to speak for you. When you work without a union, you have nobody to speak for you.
That's true. I believe, I live in Texas, and it's a right-to-work state. And I don't know, do they have at-will employees in Massachusetts, Mom? It's something in a contract I've read is an at-will employee is an employee that can be terminated at any time for any reason, whatever.
Well, of course, if you work any place that there is no union, you can be terminated.
And then you get the people that say if you're a good worker, you don't need a union. But I'm not saying I'm pro-union and I'm not anti-union. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle.
I'm just saying it can happen. Things can happen to anybody. They could walk up to me tomorrow at my job and say, "You're terminated," and what am I going to do?
Nothing really you could do.
Nothing really that people are going to do.
And if you look at, what's interesting about unions, people are always downgrading unions, but if you look at Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, National Football Association, when you start getting the really high salaries, all those people have unions.
Yes, they do.
And why is that? Because they're making so much money and they want to be protected.
Well, mainly they do it because they needed to band together.
Yeah.
They needed to band together, and the way to band together for them was, I guess, a union, because there's strength in numbers, and you know that.
I mean, a little sports history for you. I remember the 1919 Black Sox scandal.
Yeah.
Remember that? I mean, they say the reason behind that, Comiskey was such a cheapskate.
Yep.
He didn't want to pay his players any money. They were like the lowest paid players of anybody in Major League Baseball.
Right.
And a lot of people, there was rumors that Comiskey even made them pay for their own laundering, for their own uniforms. And, Joe Jackson and a couple of the other guys were so desperate for money, Ma, that they went into that betting scandal. And it was because, so when you see in the higher tier incomes, like in baseball and stuff, it seems like everybody has a union.
Well, your father used to take the Holyoke Millers, which was a minor league team that was in Holyoke.
Oh, I used to love going to the Millers games.
And he said that those kids on that team had to pay for their soda.
Wow.
There'd be soda on the bus. They had to pay for it.
Wow.
Very little
you mean
money.
Dad drove when he drove your Peter Pan? He drove.
Yeah, he drove the Holyoke Millers.
They had to pay for their own soda.
Yep, that's what he told me.
Wow.
He was shocked.
That's pretty shocking.
Yep.
I think they would at least do that for him.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if have you seen the latest attack ads by the GOP against Pelosi? I mean, I'm not saying I'm a big Pelosi fan, Ma. I'm really not. There's a lot of things I don't like about her. Okay, but in a political arena, in a seriousness of what's going on in this country right now, you got an attack ad on television against Pelosi by the GOP, and they're playing Mission Impossible in the background. I thought that was pretty pathetic. I mean,
it's just
because of the CIA thing, and they're playing Mission Impossible in the background, and I'm like, we really need to look at what's going on in the country right now. We got problems internally, domestically. We got huge problems. We got problems with Dr. Evil in North Korea with the little gray suit on. And we got problems. We got a lot of problems out there. We got problems with Somali fire. We got problems with Islamic fundamentalists.
Right.
God. We got. I think this guy from North Korea is a loose cannon, Ma. This guy's not only is he a loose cannon, but I think he's a blackmailist.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's blackmailing us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's threatening to cross over the 38th parallel, man.
And they love to see us divided.
We have 150,000 U.S. troops over there.
I know we do. And how many did we lose in the Korean War?
I think 53,000, something like that.
Okay.
That was a bloody battle.
We paid a big price.
We did pay a big price.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So you're saying we need to knock some teeth out, or what, Ma?
No, I'm not advocating.
What do we need to do with this guy, Kim Jong Il?
I think
what do we need
sanctions.
Dr. Evil.
Sanctions.
You think sanctions will work, Ma?
Yes.
Is there a time? Is there a time, Ma, when you got to put sanctions down and you got to knock some teeth out?
I don't think anything military right now would be the answer. We are in too many fronts.
Yeah.
We can't stretch them anymore.
So do we allow him to get a nuclear weapon? Because sanctions alone stop him from getting a nuclear weapon.
Make the sanctions harder. Get the United Nations to work with us. Get China.
Yeah.
Put pressure on them.
I think China's a huge key, Ma. That's a good call.
China has to put pressure on them.
Yeah.
They can't stand up against China.
He won't stand up against China because China kind of is not. Of course, they're not the idealistic communist country, but China is communist. China's an interesting country because China is a communist country, yet China is a capitalistic country.
Exactly.
So you got the best of capitalism in China, and then you get the protection of their economy by communism.
Right.
So it's pretty hard to compete with that system.
That's
for us.
Right. Well, that's where the pressure is going to come from.
So you think the pressure has to come from China on Dr.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of liking that gray suit he always wearing, Ma. I'm kind of digging that suit. I think I'm going to pick me up one of those suits there. What do you think? Another thing I admire about him is his hair, Ma. I think he. They have a supercuts there in Korea, and I think he gets his hair cut
you like
there.
that.
Ma, it's been a great show. I mean, I really I just love talking politics with you, and I'm so glad that,
great to talk
you're
to you
my first guest. You're the first guest on Matt's Political Buzz.
It's such an honor. Thank you.
It's an honor my way too, Ma. You're fantastic to talk to, and like I said, I'm humbled. I'm totally humbled.
Me too, hon.
Ma, you have a great evening, and
you have a great night.
I will, Ma, and I'll talk to you later, and I'd like to have you on the show again sometime soon.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay, Mom, I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, you take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.